Hello, Penguinauts! I'm the Billy Penguin, and welcome back to For All Kerbalkind. Particularly for those of you who maybe didn't join the stream last night, you can see that Baikonur has been expanded, even more so than people saw in the stream last night. I have finished my Baikonur expansions. You can see you've even got the little train going back and forth. We even have another train over there, and another train there. We've got 3 moving trains. I did raise up everything because I realized upon loading the game things have a tendency to spawn a little bit lower, so yeah, this second runway needs lowering relative to all the other constructs things, so a little bit of tweaking needed, but on the whole, as you can see, we actually have all of our launch pads now. This is our unlimited pad, which we're working on. It's not finished yet, but that's where the N1 is going to launch from. We got our Soyuz pad over there, got our Proton pad in the distance. We got all the various facilities associated with them over there, and they're connected into this main assembly building, which the N1 is going to roll out of with another train line. And then we have our 60-ton pad and our 150-ton pad in the distance over there. We also have this 20-ton pad here for our sounding rockets, which is catered to by this tiny little assembly building here. They just get rolled out onto that little pad. Not that I imagine we'll really use that, but we still have it. It doesn't really cost anything in maintenance to keep, so we might as well leave it just in case we, at some point, create a 20-ton launch vehicle, but without sort of solid rocket boosters, really, really high thrust stuff, like the Scout. I don't imagine we'll use that, but it is there, since we have the pad. How's everyone doing? Let's have a little look at the chat. That building looks a little small for the N1. It's not. The scale is deceptive. I created an N1 scale test tank, and this is more than big enough and wide enough for an N1. The scale is deceptive. It is big enough for an N1. It doesn't look it, does it? But it is. It's longer than this VAB is tall. The entire N1 actually fits comfortably into this long section here. And comfortably fits onto this launch pad over there. I can't go all the way over. But yeah, you go. Yeah, there you go. You can see the pad that it's going to fit on. It was the closest thing I could get to the M1 pad. Unfortunately, although we have the iconic Soyuz pad and the iconic Proton pad, we don't have the kind of iconic N1 pad. But it's less recognizable, I suppose. So hopefully it won't annoy too many people. People are saying, big rocket. Yes, indeed. There is a big rocket. Katniss says, oh, okay then. I mean, yeah, look at the old scale, right? Like Kerbal scale to one of these vehicles, you know, like with one of these crates. Like Kerbal can fit into this. See, scaling up the building, scale up the doors as well. So these doors are 3 times taller than they need to be. But that makes sense for something that's shipping supplies back and forth, I suppose. But yeah, think about it this way. There we go. See that little cabin there? Kerbal can fit into that. And this is like, this door is 3 times the size of a Kerbal. These are massive doors. And this is a massive, great big opening. And there are even 2 trains on the track over there. You can't quite see them. I think they might have clipped down into the track. I need to fix that. But there are 2 trains which pull the N1 out like reality. Anyway, enough of showing off my newly expanded Baikonur Space Center. Let's get on to the focus of today, which is the Lunar mission, which we built at the end of the last episode. So, for those of you who are wondering, you're not going to miss anything by not watching this stream. In the video, this is all going to be a one big cinematic with a cover of a song that I'm producing. But I thought, okay, if it's all going to be cinematic, I'm going to have to fly the mission normally anyway. That's what I always do. I make lots of saves as I'm flying the mission, and then I go back and get B-roll for cinematics and the like. But obviously, if anything goes wrong, then I don't. Then obviously have a cinematic moment for that. It's like, oh, okay, I show what goes wrong. But I just fly it normally, and if it all goes to plan, then I can reload the saves and just get more cinematic shots, because I don't want to have to worry about getting cinematic shots and the like while I'm actually flying the mission, because that's a surefire way to do something stupid, make a mistake. Okay, so here we go. This is Sever, but we're just going to fly the mission today because I thought it'd be a bit of fun. As I said, I'm doing this anyway, So I thought, we might as well stream it and see what happens. So let's plot our journey to the moon, because we actually are right next to the transfer window. We're actually only 50 minutes away from it. I don't know if the maneuver nodes are going to be friendly today. Sometimes they're friendly and they show the patch conics. Sometimes in RO they don't, so we might have to use MechJeb. That's just a quirk of playing in RORP1, but I do prefer to try and plot the maneuvers myself. But if it's not showing, then I'll just use MechJeb to plot it for us. Make our lives a little bit easier. I know a lot of people only use MechJeb to do these things, but I've still got Vessel Mover up from when I was assembling the Space Center. There we go. Not going to need that in space. Okay, we seem to be able to get an encounter. Not a great encounter, mind. Okay, how close can we get? Okay, I don't think the game's going to give us a... It's only giving us... Yeah, this happens. So sometimes when it gets too close to the target body, it then just removes the maneuver and you can't actually plan it, which is really irritating. So, okay, we are going to use MechJeb for this. So, maneuver planner, intercept only, optimum time, create node. Okay, it's pretty similar. As you see, this is a perfect intercept with the moon, and we can't see it. Again, it's just a quirk of RO. KSP doesn't really have enough decimal places sometimes to calculate things when it's 10 times larger. Well, when everything's 10 times larger. Righty-roo. Okay, let's make sure we're actually controlling from here. Now we have Valerie in the orbital module, and we have Valentina in the descent module here. I believe the crew hatch is around here somewhere. It's somewhere. Anyway, Valentina's over here. And you would think I would move them both into the orbital module so they're facing the right way, but it's kind of important that one of them stays in the descent module at all times. Simply because this is the only one that actually provides control over the whole spacecraft from a Kerbal. So if they're both in here and we go out of comms range, we lose control of the vehicle. We're probably not going to go out of comms range, but I would just rather not risk it. So for this burn, Valentina, they both got similar names, is going to be pressed forward against her straps. She's going to be facing the wrong way for this burn, but it's only a less than 1G burn with these four. They're not RD58s, yeah, they're S15400s. The most upgraded you can make the S15400s. But yeah, they're not actually RD58s yet. We do have the RD58 upgrade, which is an incredible upgrade to the engine, which we're going to make definite use of. But yeah, we didn't have enough time to put RD58s onto this mission. It was just like, you know what, we can get the performance with these engines. We're just gonna do that. Goofy vehicle, people are saying. I don't think it's a goofy vehicle. I think it looks... I don't know, I think it looks Soviet-esque. It looks like something the Soviets would build if they did do a multi-body lunar mission. I mean, as I said, they planned something even more bonkers than this, which was the Soyuz train concept. We are controlling from here, right? Just double checking. Yeah, okay, to make sure we burn the engines in the correct way. But the Soyuz train concept would have only used R7 rockets, real R7s, not R janky R7, and would have sent up a bunch of different modules. Now, it wouldn't actually have fuel modules. Like, it'd be like a bunch of different stages. So one of them would fire and then decouple, then the next one would fire and then decouple. That's how they would get around not being able to do orbital refueling just yet. And they would send up a modified Vostok that was capable of orbital maneuvering to oversee the assembly. They'd have to launch like 7 components one day after the other while the Vostok was overseeing everything. And then they would launch the Sever, which is what we've called this entire vehicle, but the Sever vehicle, which looks pretty much like what the Zond ended up looking like, this bit here, to then dock to it all, and then it would all go to the moon. It was called the Soyuz train, and then the Kremlin took one look at it and went, Sergei Korolev, you're insane. No, we're not doing that. And then, okay, so he was like, okay, cool. The whole thing was called Soyuz. And then he developed Soyuz into the low Earth orbit single launch vehicle that we all know and love. I am going to make a bunch of quick saves while we're flying this. Now, if something goes terribly wrong, we're not going to load a quick save. That is a rule of this series. But I am going to make a quick save so I can go back later and I can make cinematics. Okay, so we're going to make one now. This is flight 4. I tried to keep them in order. So 4, and this is Sever TLI. Cool. I've got a chamomile here. So we're going to take this nice and chill. Is episode 14 just this mission, or is the cinematic a separate video or section episode 14? The cinematic is just going to be the opening of the video. It's going to be a normal video, but the flight around the moon is going to be a cinematic, similar to how our first flight above the Kármán line, or perhaps it should be called the Kármán line, was a cinematic as well. Yeah, it's just going to be part of the wider video. Okay, so we want to start firing our engines about 2 minutes before. It says burn time 8 minutes. We're going to make sure that the crossfeed is working. There we go. Sometimes you have to turn the crossfeed on and off before it recognizes the amount of fuel we have here. And let's settle the fuel at the bottom of the tanks. And 3, 2, 1. Yeah! Here we go. We're going to the moon, everyone! Hey! Oh, this is cool. Let's try this. Yeah! We are going to the moon, everybody. Oh, that's a cool shot. Okay, no more camera tools. I'm not going to muck around with camera tools too much because I am conscious that I might like press an action group accidentally. And there are some action groups on this vehicle that I absolutely do not want to press ever. It could end very, very badly. Everything is a simulation, my friend. I mean, this isn't a simulation. This isn't like an in-game simulation. Yes, you can do those. This is the real deal. We're actually flying the mission. This could go wrong. And there are points in this mission where if we have a failure, Valerie and Valentina may well die. But the Lunar Gemini mission, I know it's under construction. I know N9 is working on it. I think it'd be really funny if we use the same transfer window again. We use the same transfer window for our landers, and he managed to land a few hours before me. So it'd be funny if we both go to the moon. There was a meme that I made actually, which is like the Umbrella Academy meme of 5 and 7 passing each other in cars, and one of them was cosmonauts aboard Sever, and then like astronauts aboard Lunar Gemini, like staring at each other weirdly. I think that would be hilarious. But yeah, if something does go wrong, there is potentially the possibility of getting rescued by Gemini, but that would be an extremely difficult mission. I mean, we've never done like an Earth orbit rescue mission. We've done one low Earth orbit rendezvous, but a lunar rendezvous and a lunar rescue, and also without compatible vehicles and tight delta V margins, really Valerie and Valentina would most likely die. But there's only 1 or 2 points in the mission where if we have 2 engine failures, they die. Most points throughout the mission, I'm pretty sure we can do direct aborts, and then we can do longer aborts at most other points. If 1 engine fails, we'll be fine, because we can still use 2 engines. And if 2 engines that are opposite each other fail, that will also be fine. But if 2 engines that are next to each other fail, Valerie and Valentina are dead. But they shouldn't fail. I mean, let's have a look at the failure chance. Ignition failure rate is 0.63%, and I'm trying to see. I don't think there's much chance of any other failures happening unless we go over the rated burn time, which we're not going to. So it'll be fine. People are talking about human skin covered Kerbals, which yeah, you can do with texture replacer. It's a bit cursed though. I also think a lot of the charm of Kerbal Space Program comes from the Kerbals. That was an early decision that I made with N9, was that we were going to... Oh, we got a contract. Oh, new crude speed record. That's fun. Yeah, of course, it's the first time we're sending crew to the moon. But yeah, we agreed that we weren't going to use humans, we were going to use Kerbals. We're going to make it for all Kerbalkind. So even though they're on Earth and it's all scaled and we're following Earth history vaguely, we're still using Kerbals and everyone's surname is still Kerm. And I think that's quite a vital bit of, a bit of the charm of Kerbal Space Program. I think if we were using humans, it wouldn't be quite as entertaining. I think we've already drained this fuel module. Yeah, we have. This uses the vast majority of our Delta V, this translunar injection burn. Uses the lion's share of it. Right, okay, here we go. We've got to focus up now because we're approaching main engine cutoff. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Cut off! Oh! 1.5 meters per second out. What's our periapsis? Okay, 787 kilometers. That is fine for a starting trajectory. We almost have a free return as well. Look at that. That's fun. We've got the little got the little loop. Okay, we're going to have to correct that, but we're not going to correct that with these main engines because these only have a certain number of ignitions. So we're going to shut these down. Now we'll reactivate them later. Okay. I'm too scared to use action groups. I'm too scared to press the wrong button. Okay, and then we're going to activate the engine aboard Zond. But we actually have a maneuver to do now we've done our translunar injection burn. So I'm going to make another save. Now we're en route. Here we go. Sever. I'll just do en route. There we go. This is so I can make cinematics later. So I don't have to fly the whole mission again. I can just load the major points in the mission and I can get all the pretty cinematic shots. Oh, Calvin McClure's in the chat. Hey, Calvin. This actually really reminds me of the Titan Transstage train I used to push my Gemini to lunar orbit. I think I saw that video. We've got quite a few interesting folks in the chat. How's everyone doing? If you strand cosmonauts on the moon and N9 ends up rescuing them, would there be a chance they would defect? No. They wouldn't defect. But N9 would have the choice whether or not to give them back. But oh, lovely chamomile. Yeah, I think in the spirit of international cooperation, he would almost certainly return them to me. We haven't got the Outer Space Treaty yet, but yeah, he should. Well, I think it's 63, isn't it? The Outer Space Treaty was 62, but we haven't. Yeah, we haven't done the Outer Space Treaty yet, and we might not do Outer Space Treaty, which lets us do creative things, or maybe we'll do it and accuse each other of breaking it, like they did in For All Mankind. Anyway. So now we've got a bit of an interesting thing we have to do. So it's almost like a transposition and docking maneuver, but it's just to get rid of this fuel tank. First things first, we should actually get ourselves on a collision course with the moon to get rid of this fuel tank so that we don't just send it into deep space. So let's just do a very minor correction burn. Is that going to get us on a collision course? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Let's do a very, very small 1 meter per second burn. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and if we control from Zond. Ah, perfect. We're facing the right way. Okay. So we're just going to fire this engine and get ourselves on a collision course with the moon. Before we ditch this. There we go. Okay. So now we can do our transposition and docking maneuver. I'm going to double check that we've drained all the fuel out of this first. Oh, that's actually full of fuel. Oh, we're crossing the radiation belt now. In a Van Allen belt, so we're going to get exposed to a little bit of radiation, but they should be fine. They've been on a few Voskhod missions, I think, so they've already got a little bit of radiation. They'll have to retire eventually, but they'll be fine for this. So I think UDMH, because of the way I set up the fuel flow, UDMH and AK-27 fuel, which is what this Zond uses, is actually full in all of our tanks. We've got this toroidal tank as well that was used for the lunar missions. It was interesting. This is actually part of the Soyuz 7K design because it was intended to go to the moon, but they never actually filled it with fuel because it never did go to the moon. Yeah, okay. Wow, okay. So we actually had a little bit spare fuel, but it's not going to be any good to us, really. So we're just going to get rid of this. So let's make sure. Yeah, I think we're all fine. Okay, so we're going to undock, and we're going to do a transposition and docking maneuver. That's not the right one. This one. Aha, undock. Okay, make sure we're holding attitude. This is nerve-wracking. I haven't fully simmed this mission in a long time, and I also haven't played this install in ages. So this is really nerve-wracking. It's just the fact that this could all go very wrong. And of course, like I was about to say, oh, I'm doing it live, and that makes it even scarier. But like, obviously, if anything went wrong in the original, mission without it being live, then I would have had to live with it as well. But the fact that it is completely live, I don't know, it just adds a certain level of pressure because I've got an audience watching, Let's try not to bump back into that fuel tank. Okay. Get this all lined up properly. Nice lengthy autosave there. I think when Carnassa joins the series, we'll definitely get... Oh, okay, that's approaching our solar panels. Let's wait for that fuel module to get a little further away before we do any funky maneuvers. That could have gone very wrong. If we decapitated a solar panel, I don't think my cosmonauts would have thanked me. It would have got a little bit chilly on the journey to the moon and back. Whew, yeah, people are saying in the chat, try not to damage a solar panel. Solar panels! Yeah, people are screaming it. You got 250 watching, you try to dock 2 spacecraft together, you mess up, we'll know. Yeah, that's very encouraging. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people saw the solar panels before I did. Like watching a car crash in slow motion, just the stakes are even higher. Okay. Here we go. Hey, we did it. We did it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, we got a collision. Okay, the engine firings when we docked did move us a little bit. Okay, that could have gone very wrong. See, that's the sort of thing I would cut out of a video. Oh, I know my way around my RCS controls fast enough to avoid that. See, that's the sort of thing that would be potentially mission ending in real life, but as far as I'm aware, we didn't take any damage. Okay, we're fine. Nothing was damaged. But yeah, in reality, that would have dented a solar panel and broken an antenna. Oh, yeah. Because when two things dock, they just fire off a whole bunch of RCS bursts. That's just a quirk of KSP while they try and stabilize themselves, and that just shot us into the... Yeah, maybe I should have rendezvoused both of them, moved them further away before attempting the docking. That would have been smarter, wouldn't it? But, oh, whatever. It's fine. We're docked now. Okay. Let's make another save. I'm just going to put transposed. That probably won't be in the cinematic either. The cinematic, I want it to be nice and majestic and beautiful and show how talented I am at the game, not that I just bumped back into my own fuel module. Hopefully that won't have bumped it. Oh, great. I can't see my encounter with the moon now. That's helpful. We probably rendezvoused, moved a little bit. Off course. Well, I think we're still on a collision course. We're just going to wait till we enter lunar orbit and then adjust our trajectory from there. It shouldn't take much delta V to adjust it. Right. Okay. Let's orient our solar panels towards the sun. Is that the right way? No, that's the right way. And we'll get heading to the moon. Gemini docking moment. Yeah. That was a bit of a... Has anyone here seen For All Mankind Season 3? I won't spoil anything, but that was a little bit Mars 94-esque. Oh. Alright, let's get facing the sun. Yeah, and we've got to recharge those batteries a little bit. They're on 73%. See, we can't do a barbecue roll like Apollo because we have solar panels. We don't rely on fuel cells. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. The one thing is, you know, if we have a minor explosion, we don't have our water supply and our electricity supply dependent upon hydrogen fuel cells, so we won't have an Apollo 13-esque accident, but I don't know, our solar panels somehow maybe more dangerous, more points of failure. I don't know. Let's just do lengthy emissions though. Oh, we're crossing another Van Allen belt. There we go. Quite a few rads actually. We're not taking the most indirect route. Oh, saying that, we're going south. Yeah, we're kind of going around the Van Allen belts. This is just a chunkier one. It's going down now though. Okay, let's see how much. They started at 7%. Oh, they're both still at 7. Okay, they're not getting very irradiated. Think about, like, if there's a solar storm, we can orient the spacecraft to shield them from radiation. But yeah, I think about going through the Van Allen belts is it's omnidirectional. There's not really much you can do. But yeah, they didn't really get much of a radiation dose from there. We didn't spend long enough in the belts. Unlike some of those Voskhod contracts, which actually required us to keep going through the Van Allen belts over and over again. Yeah, whoever wrote those contracts, or maybe there's a certain randomization factor to them, but yeah, clearly didn't think too hard about where the Van Allen belts are, or didn't write them with Kerbalism in mind. Can't wait for episode 9 tomorrow night. Yeah, For All Mankind. Oh, I love that series. Oh, there's Mars over there. Ah, crew report. Earth space high transmitted. I didn't have time to read that. Have a look at the log. Aha, here we go. The hot water makes a big improvement. The meals I had have been quite tasty, though none of us have really gone overboard for the little bread cubes. Oh, I love the little like quotes they have from real people. Anyway, now we're in space high. We are going to do an EVA because there's EVA science to be had. So before we get too far out of the Earth's magnetosphere. I think the moon might... No, it's outside most of it. There is a third Van Allen belt that appears depending upon how high the solar activity is. So the closer in we do this, the better. So it's... There we go. Right, we're going to do an EVA and just get some crew science. And also test out our new spacesuits. Obviously, it doesn't make the most sense because in the end of the last episode, I did show a spacesuit that was the old design. So it would make sense that we'd have the old design and the new design. Unless, I guess, maybe we took the new design to test it, but have the old design as a backup redundancy. I don't know. Don't question it. Regardless, Valerie is going to go on EVA. Here we go. We have one of our new Cretchet spacesuits. They've got a slightly higher fidelity texture. And CCP is on the side of the helmet now. Right, let's start that EVA report. There we go. So we've got to stay out here for 2 minutes. What's his radiation dose like? I think he's okay. Radiation levels are nominal. That's encouraging. Okay. Let's check he has nitrogen before we let go. Okay, yeah, he's fine. He can let go. And float free in space. Oop. Not go too far from the spacecraft, but there we go. Hey. Check it out. Do you guys like the new spacesuits? I think they look a lot better than the previous ones. And they got the little dials and things on them. And this is blue striped because Valerie is an engineer. I know in reality the Orlan spacesuits, which are like the low Earth orbit versions of the Cretchit, which was designed for lunar surface excursions, they have the blue stripes and red stripes to determine like, you know, an even numbered spacesuit or an odd numbered spacesuit. It's just the order they were constructed, I believe. I spent so long trying to research what the coloured stripes even mean. But for me, I'm going for red stripes for commanders of the mission, blue stripes for flight engineers, and then no stripes, no coloured stripes for anyone else. And we're going to look at the comments. People are saying they look good. And 9 says, I thought we had a rule about requiring tethers. Well, not now that we have EVA packs. This is probably needlessly dangerous. But it's just because the thing about the tethers is like you always have to have your back towards the spacecraft because of the way they attach on, and it limits the way that you can fly around the spacecraft. Oh, someone's donated. Hey, Phantomus. How long do you know Matt Lown? How long have I known Matt Lown for? Interesting question. I was talking about tethers. I'll finish talking about tethers first. But thanks for the donation. Thank you very much. I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah. So you can't really like free fly around the spacecraft. I didn't have a tether at the end of the last episode. Now we have EVA packs, sort of like the upgrade to the astronaut complex. Let's say it gives us the more advanced spacesuits with zip guns or whatever, so we can control our space flight enough that we don't need the tethers. But yeah, they're just a bit janky, you know, because if the tether was mounted here, I couldn't go to that side of the spacecraft without it clipping through. And also they have a habit of blowing up spaceships when you retract the winches. Yeah, they're just a little bit janky to use. I'm glad we used them for the early exploration because it was actually a bug, it turns out, that was stopping us filling our suits with nitrogen. I thought it was a game mechanic that didn't let us actually have any EVA fuel, so we couldn't use the backpacks at all. It wasn't a roleplay thing, but it turns out it was a bug. It wasn't a mechanic, so we fixed that. So now let's just say we have more advanced spacesuits. Regardless, I think he has been in space for long enough, so we'll start making our way back now. You see, it doesn't have that much fuel, so we do have to be a little bit careful. But anyway, how long have I known Matt Lown? Matt first commented, I believe it was one of my Space Engineers videos. It was just after he'd made his Submarine to Eve video. And he made a comment on one of my Space Engineers videos just saying that he liked my stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. I used to be more famous than him. And he used to follow the channel, which was nice. But yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I saw your Submarine to Eve thing, and then he did like music videos on doing SSTOs and stuff, and then became the YouTuber that he is today. But yeah, I've had his email since then, pretty much. There we go. Let's transmit that EVA report. Beautiful. So yeah, that's sort of the first time that I had any kind of contact with him. And then, yeah, his channel sort of exploded. A combination of, I think, doing stock stuff, having a very regular upload schedule, and putting a lot of effort into his channel. I mean, I don't know how he does a full-time job and YouTube on top. I mean, he literally he released a video where he said he was going to slow his upload schedule because he literally was just never having any time for like leisure or having a life outside of work. And yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense considering the kind of upload cadence he has. But particularly doing stock stuff and then doing his space news stuff, I think it appeals to a much wider audience. So this stuff is a lot more niche. But, you know, this has always been a hobby for me. I've always done what I want to enjoy or what I would enjoy watching. So I've never been too bothered about optimizing things to maximize my reach, but that's not to put down the quality of Matt's vids, because he does put a lot of effort into them, so he does absolutely deserve his success. But yeah, and then there was like a KSP YouTuber Skype group, and then now there's a KSP YouTuber Discord, and so we've been in touch since. And then we had that like fake drama a while back that people thought was real. For some reason there's this like fake rivalry between us, not that there's like any reason for that. I think it's just because, I don't know, like we used to play Rocket League together, and then at least like a couple of times, and yeah, he's a funny guy, and I think maybe just we're both British and we both like take a joke we both take the piss out of each other to a certain extent. But yeah, so many people for some reason thought that drama was real, and they started and be like, "Oh, he's got so many more subs than you. How dare you?" Blah, blah, blah. It's like, bruh, this is clearly a piss take. Like, we wouldn't do this if we weren't on good terms. Regular upload schedule, my arch nemesis. Mood, Calvin, mood. Anyway, we have completed our EVA. Let's just say it was a mid-course EVA just to check all our systems after we had an impact from that fuel module. I'm taking my time with this. I'm not going to rush through any of this because time warping too much is 30 units of science. The greatest experience it's just tremendous. Those are the words of Valerie. Although I think that's someone on Gemini. One of the first spacewalks. And then he was so excited he didn't actually hear mission control telling him to get back inside the spacecraft. He was too excited about it. Okay. I'm just going to set a maneuver with a... Nope, not Tallcat. I don't want to do that. There we go. There we go. Just to give us a time window so I can look at things in this view. And it will slow down time for us. Ah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful view, everyone. We are en route to the moon. Where is it? There it is. Ha ha. Oh, it's glory. It looks tiny in the sky, doesn't it? Right. Let's get our time warp on. Let's do this thing. I think we'll have to do EVAs. Tallcat batteries are getting low. Wait, what? Oh, wait, this isn't Tallcat. This is Sever. Ah, Tallcat, I believe, is what it's called. Aha, it's the fuel module. Of course, of course. Where is that thing? I have no idea. It's somewhere. Probably way, way, way away from us now. Yeah, of course, it's the fuel module that's on track for a collision with the moon. I forgot about that. Yeah, because Yako, well, it's Yaka is how it's pronounced, is the propulsion module. Tallcat was the fuel module, and then Zond was the crew module / descent module. Yeah. I forgot about that. Oh no, Tallcat's out of electric charge. Whatever we're going to do. I was really worried about that. I was like, oh god, Sever's out of electric charge. No, we are fine. Our batteries are full, which is very nice. Okay. Here we are. We're approaching the moon, ladies and gents. There it is. Oh. Okay, I'm keeping the time warp slow because as soon as we enter lunar orbit, which is going to be randomly and suddenly, we're going to want to do a course change maneuver. There we go. We're in lunar orbit. I'll tell you, gentlemen, that moon... What was that? What was that quote? That moon is pretty close. Gym level, Apollo 8. That's an appropriate quote. We have sent a crew report from space high above the moon. We'll do an EVA in a minute. But first of all, let's make ourselves not on a collision course with the moon. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Now... let's see. Space lower on the moon, which is where we're going to want to be, because that's where you get biome-specific science, is... I wrote it down somewhere. 150 kilometers. But we want this periapsis to be as low as we can comfortably get, just to maximize the O-berth effect and the delta V we can get out of this mission. So we're going to go for a nice low periapsis, I think of 30 kilometers. I think that's a safe distance, but nice and low. Should be able to reach out and touch the lunar surface. Anyone let me know in the chat if that's too low. Because I would very much like to know if it is too low. Okay, control from here. Right. What's better, cold chocolate or normal chocolate? Oh, cold, for sure. You'd see the moon a whole lot closer if you didn't adjust the orbit. I mean, that is true. Yeah, cold chocolate, actually. I usually put my chocolate in the fridge so you get the nice crunch. Okay, there we go. That was just so I knew which direction we wanted to face. Right. We're just firing Zon's engines. We don't have a limit to the number of relights. And there we go. yeah, it has infinite relights, which maybe isn't realistic, but yeah, it means we can just use this for all of our mid-course maneuvers, which is great. Okay, let's plot our maneuver and then we'll go on an EVA. Just want to get all our housekeeping sorted first. We'll stir the tanks and have a tank explosion. I think we've got all the science already there to be gotten from space high above the moon, because the space high above the moon, so it isn't biome specific, whereas space low is. And so what we really want to do is get into a low orbit over the near side of the moon, because there are a lot of different craters there which we want to travel over and get a lot of different biome specific science. So we want to lower this to I think it's 150 kilometers. So this is going to be quite a big burn. So this is what I meant about failure points, because we have to enter quite a low orbit of the moon. If we could enter a super eccentric orbit, this would be a much simpler mission. But because we have to go into quite a low orbit, it's still relatively eccentric, but yeah, like we could say we did a circumlunar, orbit flight and go into a much higher orbit than this. But unfortunately, yeah, we've got to go into quite a low orbit for this mission to really be worth it, science-wise. Otherwise, we might as well just have done a flyby. Let's have a look at the contract and just double check. So we've done the speed record. That's fine. Here we go. First crew lunar flyby. Fly by the moon within 5,000 kilometers. We're going to get that in a minute. Landing and sample return. Deimos. Lunar landing. Mars orbit. Phobos flyby. Venus atmospheric flow. Venus landing. First crew lunar orbit. Here we go. So yeah, the apoapsis for this has to be below 500,000 as well. You can't get into a stupidly eccentric orbit. Hold it for at least 20 hours. So that's how long we're going to have to stay here. And then we're going to head straight home. Straight on home. Okay. Let's get back to our Kerbalism window. Oh, actually, we want to be controlling from here, because this is these are the engines that are going to do that burn. Okay. Try and land a whole N1 rocket on the moon. EVA only in the shadow of the moon. That's a good idea. We'll do a shadow of the moon EVA. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I don't know if that'd be a good idea or not, though. Actually, yeah, an EVA out of contact with Earth and in the shadow of the moon, probably not a great idea. I'm not going to do that for realism's sake. Because you just wouldn't, would you? If something went wrong, you would be stuffed. Still, Valerie and Valentina are about to become the loneliest Kerbals in the universe. It's interesting that something that I find really poignant is there's that photo that Michael Collins took of the lunar module descending down to the surface of the moon with the Earth in the background. And you've got to realize that that single shot contains every human who has ever lived except for Michael Collins. Every single human that has ever lived. Ever. Contained within one picture. Except for one person. And I just think, I don't know, I just find that really, really endlessly fascinating. I'm just going to spin around so we're still getting some power from those solar panels. Because these will last a while. We've got a day, yeah, but we might as well face the sun if we can. Not directly, but we'll still get some light from that. Yeah, it just lasts a bit longer. There we go. Okay. You guys ready for another EVA? I certainly am. We're just going to do lunar EVA. I'll do high lunar EVA. There we go. The Americans did a dark side EVA. You must beat the Americans. I'm going to beat the Americans by not doing a stupid EVA. They would never do a far side EVA. It's just needlessly dangerous. We're not doing it. Okay. Go on, Valerie. Should we get Valerie or should we get Valentina? Thing is, yeah, it's a bit janky if you get Kerbals out of the descent module. The ship does a fair bit of maneuvering. You might do that once we're in a stable orbit. Just so they get the experience from having done that. But we're going to get Valerie to do this EVA because he's in the orbital module. Although we could always transfer Valentina, actually. But realistically, she'd have to do an EVA to transfer across anyway. So, yeah, I feel weird about transferring Kerbals when you can't transfer them through this docking port. Like, if they would have to do an EVA, I think you should do an EVA and use the amount of nitrogen. You see, there's only so many EVAs we can do. It uses 50 nitrogen each time we step outside. Anyway, go on, Valerie. You filled with nitrogen? Yes, we're good. And okay, 36 science for this crew report. Beautiful. Okay. So, go for a little float, shall we? Whee! So, as flight engineer, I want you to inspect the main engines. And let's try not to pull a Apollo 20... Was it Apollo 24? From For All Mankind. If you know, you know. But yeah, let's inspect the engines. Just see if there's any damage from the collision with Tolkat. Beardy, turn off the Zond engine. Yeah, we will. I mean, I haven't even turned these engines on yet. Don't you worry. We'll turn off the Zond engine. We're not going to fire engines opposing each other. But thanks for the reminder. Just in case I would have been stupid enough to do that. To be fair, I think I did do it in a simulation once. Or I was also controlling from the wrong module as well. And all sorts. I do love that the Kerbalism experiments take ages. Which means that you've got to do a 2-minute EVA and just, you know, fill 2 minutes. So you got to go out and there's like a reason that you go out on a long EVA and inspect the spacecraft. I think we can actually go into first person here. Oh, yeah! We're in first person, guys. We're inspecting the spacecraft. People say ignite the engine. What's wrong with you guys? I don't know how I get out of this view. Oh, there we go. Right. I think Valerie is satisfied with his inspection of the Yakko module. So he's going to head back inside. Ignite the engines while on inspection. Oh no, Valerie forgot the marshmallows. Oh, incredible. You guys come up with some really dumb but hilarious stuff. How much nitrogen did I use? Yeah, I used about 1/5 of his nitrogen just to do that. So we do need to be wary of the amount of fuel we use on these. Okay. The engineer has completed his inspection and is happy. 500 kilobytes of data transferred. And now we can transmit that. It's 36 credits of science. It's worth having. Absolutely worth having. Right, it's only really the crew experiments that are going to give us any science here, which is why I wanted to go into that low orbit to make sure. Let's check that we're actually on course here before I change engines. What is our periapsis height? Yeah, 30 kilometers, we're fine. Okay, let's do this now before I forget. But yeah, like to make this worth doing, not only contract-wise, but science-wise. But yeah, we need to go into that low orbit. Otherwise, you know, we won't get... Because most of the biomes are on the near side of the moon. I'm just checking I've got all 4 of these activated. Shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Okay, yep. Right, let's make a save for here. Breaking burn. Double check we're controlling from here. Yep. Make sure we're pointing at the node. People are saying solar storm? Solar storm? Was there a warning? I don't see a warning about a solar storm. People are shouting solar storm. I don't think there's a solar storm, guys. If there was a solar storm, it'd be warning me that there's a solar storm. Alert. Danger. EVs out. Danger. 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 No, there's no solar storm, guys. Why are we freaking out? Well, everyone's screaming storm sirens. There isn't a solar storm warning, so I don't know what you guys are on about. I think you're just trying to freak me out, aren't you? Sounds about right. Okay. Bruh, solar storm. There is no solar storm. People are like, hoi for alarm. Here we go. This is the great experience. It's just tremendous. Yeah, it's Ed White on Gemini 4. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah, this is fake. People are trying to summon a solar storm, but there isn't a solar storm. Didn't Ed9 like massively irradiate his Kerbals that went on his circumlunar flight because he paused the notifications so he could get pretty cinematics? That's why I fly the mission first, then get the cinematics later, so I don't make mistakes like that. Because pausing Kerbalism updates, that's real dangerous. Right, how long is this burn going to take? It says 28 seconds. I'm inclined to believe that, actually, judging by how much delta V we have. It's about 2/3 of our delta V. Yeah, I'm inclined to believe that, 28 seconds. So we want to start 14 seconds before. So 24 seconds before I want to... Oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool. 24 seconds before I want to start firing to settle the fuel in the tanks, even though it seems settled already, but regardless. Let's just make a save in case the game crashes here. Where's the Earth right now? Because we're going to go out of comms range pretty soon. Where is the Earth? Oh, wow. Okay, Earth is right over the horizon. I think we're going to... Oh, we've lost contact. Okay, we've lost contact with the Earth. Let's double check that we have full avionics control. We do. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to double check. People are now saying power outage. We have 100% power. Yeah, you guys are just freaking me out. What is going on right now? Oh, we've got some bots in the chat. I'll let N9 deal with that. Actually, I'll see if I can get rid of it real quick. I'll see if I can ban them. I put the user in timeout. There we go. Hide user. Does that hide them for everyone? It might just hide them for me, actually. I'll report them as unwanted commercial content or spam. There we go. Cool. There we go. That should have got rid of them. Oh, God. We're going to be doing this in the dark. This is spooky. The sun's gone down. All right. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hope we don't hit a lunar mountain. Yeah, if the lunar surface is rises higher than 30 kilometers, I'm going to leave you guys responsible. Because I did ask. I don't think it goes above 20. I'd be surprised if it did. Well, obviously, Valerie and Valentina would be similarly surprised as well. Yeah, I think we're ways away from the lunar surface here. Beardy say beans. Okay, I said beans. I think that's going to be used as like a weird like sound bite now for whatever reason. Just double check everything. Control from here. Don't press decouple node. That would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it? Fuel tanks are full. Okay, let's stabilize the fuel in the tanks. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer than you think it will, so it's good to do it a little early. And we want to overburn here if we need to, rather than underburn. And we want to start burning 14 seconds. 16, 15, 14, go! Okay, phew, perfect ignition on all 4 engines. Okay, I'm going to stand ready to deactivate one if we have an ignition failure. Not an ignition failure, a transient failure. But it's very unlikely we'll have one of those. As long as we don't go over the rated burn time of the engines. So this is the failure point, right? Going to this low orbit around the moon, this is the point where we could get stuck. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Over! And we're done. We're in orbit! We did it, guys! And here we go. We're getting our crew report. 8 science per biome. Whoa! That's worth having. Okay. We have 400 meters per second. Yeah, left. Perfect. Which means you have a kilometer per second. Let's just... well, first of all, let's just make a save. Lunar orbit. We're in lunar orbit, guys! Hell yeah! I mean, I wasn't too worried about this mission, but this is still nerve-wracking as hell. I get pretty jittery even when I'm not live, so the fact that I'm live makes this makes this even worse. We build an international space station. I mean, we won't go that far that we'll build like the international space station, but we'll definitely probably have like an international Skylab or something. Mir will almost certainly get built. All right, let's double check our orbit. I wanted to go a little over just to check we were below 150, but yeah, it's perfect. We're going to go over lots of biomes. Perfect. Probably not all of them, but we'll go over a good bunch of them. Right, before we do anything else, we're going to check we have enough delta V to get home again. Currently in a retrograde orbit of the moon, but that's actually perfect. To be fair, we probably should have gone into a prograde orbit, so we could have done our return burn and our braking burn on the near side. Whatever. Let's check we have enough delta V here. So we have about a kilometer per second. Although this doesn't, I think we have much more once we decouple the Yaka module. Because once that's drained of fuel, we just use the Zond module to return home. Yep, we have enough delta V, guys. More than enough delta V to get home. Oh, phew. We're fine. We're fine. So as long as we don't have 2 engine failures next time we try to ignite, or ignition failure, we can cut them all off and restart them. But yeah, we've even got 2 spare ignitions, so this is going really, really well. Hell yes. Okay, so first priority is let's get out from behind the moon. Look at that. Look at these craters, major craters. Biome. So much crew science. We've already got 100. We've already transmitted 100 science from this mission. We're going to transmit a hell of a lot more doing these crew reports. Right, we have to stay here for 20 hours, right? 0G, and I feel fine. There's the Earth. Oh, I didn't catch the Earthrise. Ah, okay, we can catch it on the next orbit. We can catch it on the next orbit. That's fine. My bad. I feel like Jim Lovell is like, oh, get a picture. It's like, oh, it'll come around again, Lovell, if you've seen From the Earth to the Moon. Amazing series if you haven't seen it. Beautiful. Radiation levels are fine. No solar storm, thankfully. Why is everyone spamming clowns? Did you know there's a real Zvezda moon base idea? I did know that. I'm actually thinking about making a video on it. There we go. Sunrise. So Valerie and Valentina aren't, unfortunately, the first Kerbals to ever see an Earthrise. That goes to the crew of Gemini mission. I think it was Gemini 3 that did a circumlunar flight. Still there. Let's reorient these solar panels. Oh, that was an autosave. There we go. Because we're transmitting a lot of science right now. Like warning us that we've only got 2 years worth of liquid oxygen left because it does boil off slowly. Oh no! Yeah, that's more than enough to get us home. Yeah, let's double check how long we need to stay. It was 20 hours. Yep. I think we will have completed flyby. Crew lunar flyby. Yep, we just got to return home safely. I'm going to warn you guys, by the way, there is a bug with Zon's parachute. Now, for some reason, it's to do with the with just the Zon descent module, but it's not a problem with the normal Soyuz descent module. I don't know what it is, but sometimes the parachute just doesn't open for no reason. I know we're going to get lots of jokes of, it's like the actual Soyuz one, but it is a bug. And sometimes all you have to do is reload a quick save and it opens fine. And it's happened in simulations, and I chatted to N9 about it. If that bug happens on our return to Earth, if it's just the parachute, if anything else fails, then obviously they die. But yeah, if the parachute doesn't deploy, then we're going to reload a quick save because it is a bug, and it's not fair. So we reload things when it's a bug, or something's unfair. It's not my fault if the parachute doesn't open. So we might need to reload a quick save. I'm just pre-warning you guys, but I chatted to N9 about it, and it's all fine. Look at that though. Right, I want to get an Earthrise. Let's whiz over the lunar surface. Oh, we need to do an EVA, don't we? Let's do our EVA. Let's get Valentina to do an EVA this time. Okay, here we go. We ready? Lunar orbit EVA. Okay, let go. You see what I mean? It knocks the spacecraft a little bit when you EVA from that one. You see, she's got the red stripes, her commander stripes. All right, let's activate that crew report. There we are. Do a visual inspection of the spacecraft. Now that we're in lunar orbit. Oh, look at this. So this is an activity that we need to practice because, of course, this is something that we're going to have to do with our N1L3 lunar mission. They're going to have to do a lunar EVA in order to transfer into the LK lander. So this is something that they need to practice. Valentina, do a flip. There's what she's doing. Okay, that's enough of that. We're getting a little far away from the spacecraft for my liking. Yeah, we don't want to be silly with these EVAs because there is a distinct possibility that something does go wrong. In simulations, many things went wrong on the EVA jetpackless EVAs. Those Voskhod. I think it was Voskhod 1 when we did a first EVA, wasn't it? We swapped around Voskhod 1 and Voskhod 2. But yeah. Doing EVAs without jetpacks is nerve-wracking, I tell you that. It's just like a safety net that you don't have. And KSP's not really designed to do EVAs without them. Because you just have no control. You can't like reach out and grab something. You just have no control over the Kerbal whatsoever. Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll go up and say hello to... oh, wow, the EVA report here is 48 science. Damn. Let's go up here and say hi to Valerie. I think we should be just about in front of the window. Okay, let's try that. Valerie. There we go! That's a bit buggy. But we can indeed see Valentina with the reflection of the spacecraft outside. Incredible. This is what the orbital module looks like. Can we click on that one? Oh yeah, we can look at all of these. It's a little bit buggy though. Yeah, it seems Valentina pulled up outside the only one that we could actually clearly see out of. Hey Val! You're upside down! Hey! Hey, Canas is here! Beautiful. Okay, let's get Valentina back inside. But we're going to put her in the orbital module with Valerie while they're doing the experiments. There's no need for either of them to be in the command module while they're just orbiting the moon for 20 hours. It's much more roomy in the orbital module. That's where all their mission supplies are as well. Means we're not going to have full control over the vehicle when they go into the night side, but that is fine. There we go. We're facing the sun and everything. Yeah, we have no real need to... there we go, there's the... Okay, I'm just checking if they can see the Earthrise through the window. Yeah, they will be able to, I think. But we don't have a great view through the window, so we're not going to look at it through the window. But yeah, I just want to make sure that our Kerbals are able to see the Earthrise. Because that's important. Alright, let's transmit that EVA report. And right, let's get an Earthrise, shall we? There we go. This is the greatest experience. It's just tremendous. They seem to be a bit like broken records, these two, don't they? If we keep repeating Ed White's sayings. Okay. I want to see this Earthrise. Why do people keep saying solar storm? There is no solar storm. It would warn me if there's a solar storm. Shush. Stop trying to stress me out. Where my Earthrise at? Should be any minute now. Solar storm IRL. Oh, is that the reason why? Oh, I think I remember seeing something about that. Yeah, they're usually not anything to worry about. Unless you live at really high latitudes, in which case you might have some electrical grids knocked out. Patiently waiting for my Earthrise. There it is! What? Oh, that's cool. Earthrise, ladies and gentlemen. Biddy, did you shut down your main engines? No. That's a good idea, just so I don't accidentally push a button. Oh. Beautiful. Okay, right. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the Earthrise while I go for a very short break and get myself a drink. Because this has been stressful. This has been real stressful. But I'll let you guys watch that in real time. I'll be back in a minute. Hello, I'm back. So now people are saying use Alt and scroll to change your FOV. I rebound the engines throttle up from shift to left alt because I prefer it that way. So I can't do that without firing the main engines. Saying that, I have turned the engines off, but I don't want to screw my FOV up because I like it the way it is. How are we doing? Did the advert work? I just, like, YouTube just popped up. Just went, this would be a good time to insert an ad. I was like, I'd never seen it before. It's a new thing. I was like, oh, I'm going on a break. I guess I'll see what that does. So I pushed the button. Did you guys get an advert? I don't know. I didn't think you'd miss anything, but let me know. Let me know if that worked. Anyway, let's fast forward through this. People saying yes. So we need to orbit for 20 hours, then we can go home. It did work. There was an ad. Okay, so it just gave people an ad. I assume people who didn't use ad blockers. Yeah, some people got ads. I think if you use ad block, then you wouldn't have got one. Obviously. Right. Let's just orbit around now. So we've got to kill 20 hours. Let's see how many different biomes we're going over. Lowlands, Midlands. Do we got all the different biomes now? Oceanus Procularum, major craters. Oh, there's a couple that we're sort of dipping into that we don't have full science for. We're still getting some science for them though. Let's just keep an eye on our vitals. Yeah, we've got plenty of charge. Our crew are fine. 10% stress though, but that's understandable. They're going to get a bit more stressed on the journey home because they only have the Zond descent module for their journey home. Wow, 200 science. So we've got basically an extra 100 science from going into this low orbit, which is great. Okay, so like some people got an ad, some people didn't get an ad. So, I don't know. But apparently it worked for some. I'm not going to spam that, by the way. It's just thought, I'm on a break. I'll see what the button does. I want to get a cool shot of the, of it like, there we go. Over one of the craters. Like that. Like a thumbnail. Thumbnail shot. It has to be like that so I can fit the penguin and the thing in, but yeah. There we go. That's a thumbnailable, I think. Is it F12 take a screenshot? I think so. I think I took one. If not, I'll just print screen that and just send it to, I don't know, N9 just to save it. There you go, N9. I'm sending you that on Discord. Sending you the thumbnail just because the stream will compress it. Did that send? Yeah, there we go. N9's got a beautiful little picture. Go, haha, look what my cosmonauts are up to. This isn't a sim either. This is the actual install. So, you know, there are repercussions if we screw up. Okay, let's fast forward through this and then we'll take our Kerbalkind home. There's no reason for this stream to be longer than necessary. 7 hours. 6 hours. There's another Earthrise. So I always want to pause it for the Earthrise. 5 hours. 4. 3. 2. 1. Then we can start planning our return journey. Yay! So, all we have to do now is return home safely without screwing anything up. Okay. So, we're in a retrograde orbit. So we want to burn around here, which coincidentally is also a periapsis, which is very nice. That's not the most efficient way to do things, is it? Let's move this around so it's more parallel. I think that would help. Yeah. So it's an actual retrograde burn. What's that saying? It's saying 48 million, right? 46, 30. It takes us to 5, actually, which is interesting. Oh, but that's the limit of how far we can actually go doing that. Okay. Because you want to be burning along the moon's retrograde, really. That doesn't seem to be working. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, there we go. Why is the periapsis going up when we're burning retrograde? That's a bit weird. Oh, I think maybe we screwed things up with our normal burn. Let's zero that and then see what happens. No, it's still going up. Oh, we reversed our orbit. Oh, that's why. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. We're overburning. Okay, right. Let's redo this. Yeah, I was massively overburning because of the inclination change. So yes, let's definitely change up our inclination so that these are about level. There we are. Okay. What periapsis has that left us with? That's inside the planet right now. Okay. There we go. Right. So, prograde. I'm going to want a little bit more than that. So our periapsis has to be exactly 30 kilometers. But we're going to fine-tune this with Zond. We're not taking the Yaka module all the way back with us. So we're going to start this burn with Zond. Sorry, with Yaka. And then we're going to use Zond to finish the burn, which will take a little bit longer. But that's a decent ballpark to start with, a decent time to burn, and a decent angle to burn at. And we'll figure out exactly, we'll fine-tune where we're landing as well. Because if we landed in the United States, I mean, we transmitted all of our science, but they still get access to the descent module and the spacecraft and everything, which I think is why... yeah, I can't look at it here, but I'm pretty sure I did put explosives in their inventory so they can blow up the descent module if need be. Right, first things first though, we need to do our EVA, so let's just lunar crew transfer. We need to EVA both of them back across into the descent module. It would be a little bit awkward. I did this once in simulations where I fired up and decoupled and realized that one was still in the orbital module. But yeah, they both need to be in the Zond module now. Okay. I believe it's actually this side, which is a bit irritating. Is it this side? Yes. There we go. Spacecraft never likes a Kerbal grabbing there, for whatever reason. Alright, and over Valentina goes as well. People saying, just like the simulations. Thankfully, this isn't just like the simulations. As I said, this mission went very, very wrong multiple times in simulations. Okay, crew are transferred. Let's make sure we're controlling from here. Yep. And we're going to face that maneuver node. So we're going to use these 4 engines to give ourselves an initial boost. We're also going to quickly transfer any consumables into Zond. So we need more waste storage. Okay, I'll take that into account in future. Yeah, we can't get rid of any of our wastewater. Oh, we might as well transfer the nitrogen and the potassium superoxide. Actually, that's the carbon dioxide scrubber. Make sure we got all of these. There we go. I'm pretty sure that means we're full on everything. Yep. And we've already drained the HTP out of this. I've set it all up so that it flows from there first. So we stop all these. Stop. Is this full? Is there any HTP in here? No. This contains all of the HTP. Got 20 in here. Oh, okay. We've actually used a lot of our maneuvering propellant. I think in those sort of spazzes during the docking and... Yeah, okay. We need to actually be quite careful. We don't have a huge amount of maneuvering propellant left. And if we run out of that, they die. So let's be a little on the careful side. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. We really don't have a huge amount of that. Let's really be careful then. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. UDMH AK-27. I'm pretty sure these are all full. Yeah. We'll have... we could burn some of the fuel in here before we actually decouple the two, which might be worth doing, actually. I'm going to do that. We should have put some high-test peroxide in there. Okay, whatever. Yeah, we'll burn these fuel stores as well. We might as well. But first, we're going to burn the remaining liquid oxygen and the like. Okay, so we want to do our initial burn, and then we're going to burn this engine, which take a lot longer. So it says this burn time is about 2 minutes, but to do this kind of burn, it's going to be more like 10 minutes with the Zond engine, particularly if we're pushing this while we drain this thing's fuel. So I'm thinking we probably want to start our burn. I'm going to say 6 minutes before, as long as it's not pointing towards the ground. We're going to do start the burn 6 minutes before the node, so we have plenty of time to maneuver and everything without using too much high-test peroxide, because actually that's quite limited. Anyway. Oh, escape burn. There we go. Oh, I think I've broken the camera. Oh, I have broken the camera. There we go. How do I switch those off? Disable camera. Disable camera. How do I fix the bloody... that's irritating. I think a way of fixing it is do that and then do that. Oh, that used a bunch of precious HTP. There we go. I fixed the camera though. There we go. For some reason, yeah, if I accidentally press the docking camera button, I should rebind that actually, if I can. Yeah, it completely breaks the camera for some reason. Anyway, we've made our save. Set that to node. Make sure I think our crossfeed is fine. Okay, let's turn these engines on. Let's get ready to do this. Okay, we've got all 4 on. Yep, 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 and yep. Okay. Okay. We are controlling from the right place. Okay. Let's do this thing. So what did we say? We said 6 minutes before, right? And have a little sip of tea before we do this. This is a bit nerve-wracking. This is the bit where it can all go wrong. So I really don't want to screw this up. 25, 24, 23, 22. Yeah, I think doing this burn 6 minutes early isn't going to cause us any problems. I'll keep an eye on our periapsis height, but if that goes below 30, then we'll have some problems. But yeah, I think we'll be fine. People are saying the engines are on. Don't worry, I've turned them on. They're activated. People are going, engines, they're on. They are on, look. Okay, 6 minutes. Look. Shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. They're all on. This one is off. We're fine. Right. Let's settle the fuel. I don't know what you guys are on about. The engines are on. As visualized by them firing. They means on. The Zond engines are not on. And we don't want those engines to be on. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So Sever is now finished. So what we're going to do, turn this off. Control from here. And then we're going to flip the spacecraft without using too much HTP. Actually, to be fair, it doesn't drain too quickly. I don't know how we used quite so much. So that's almost like half the burn, but the rest of this burn is going to take a long ass time. Let's shut these down. Shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Okay, then activate this engine. Okay. And there we go, we've activated the Zond engine. The Zond engine fires the other way, so... What are you guys doing? It's like, engines are off! And you've literally just seen them all fire. What are you guys on? You guys keep like screaming alerts at me like, solar storm! Or you're out of electric charge! Or your engines aren't on! And you're always wrong. I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm not that stupid. Okay, so we're going to use the fuel that's in this first. There we go. Okay, so you see there's a little bit of fuel in here, so we're going to drain that first. As you see, this is going to take a lot longer. You're probably worried by the amount of time it says it's going to take, but we have loads more fuel that we're currently not letting it use. And it's going to go a lot faster once we've drained this. This is why I wanted so much time, right? Beardy, your solar panels aren't deployed. People are just shouting random things at me to stress me out. I bet they're just American propagandists. They're US spies infiltrating my Discord. That's what you all are. So we're just going to drain all the remaining fuel out of this. I'm going to check that we've got everything that we wanted out of that. Oh, we can put a little bit more water in, actually. Let's do that. Need to use water quite quickly. There we go. Okay, anything else left in here? We could use a little bit more nitrogen, perhaps, if there's some nitrogen left. There is nitrogen left, but I can't seem to... Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, why don't we transfer it? Okay, whatever. This thing's out of HTP as well, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Your house is on fire and the USSR collapsed. You're running low on food. No, I'm not. I have enough food and water for another 13 days. It does not take that long to get back. And we transferred... yeah, that does include some of this food, but we'll have enough food to get back in here. We've got 117 in here. We got plenty of food, plenty of water. Zond has enough storage in it to make the round trip by itself, but I just put some of the supplies in the orbital module so that I could have a bit more HTP stored in here and bits and bobs. That it was more important that this had for the return journey. Okay. Now we can decouple this. I'm going to make sure I don't decouple the wrong thing. I don't want to decouple the antenna. That would be really bad. And farewell. I think we are literally just leaving this in an eccentric orbit of the Earth, but yeah, you can only clear up so much space debris. I'm going to make a save actually before we do this. Lunar undocking. As we say farewell to our trusty steed. Docking port, propellant only. Just making sure we're undocking the right thing. Yes. We're fine. Farewell. You served us well, Yaka. But we need to make the rest of this journey alone. Gonna be a little bit cramped for the return journey. Let's double check I've got both the cosmonauts. That'd be a funny one. People are like, ah, you forgot a cosmonaut. And I'd actually be worried because I did that in simulations. I also, in the past, actually, because you can decouple the avionics package, I accidentally decoupled this instead of undocking. That was awkward. I'll tell you. Right, are we clear? Oh, we lost our maneuver. That's a bit awkward. The maneuver was tied to the other one. Let's just let's just prograde this and see what happens, so we know how much to burn. That's about right, actually. Four, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we don't want it that low, actually, do we? We want it at 30. What am I doing? 30 kilometers. Cool. We knew we had to keep burning this way, so that's what we're going to keep doing. And there we go. Yeah, the acceleration on this thing isn't amazing. I'm actually going to rotate the spacecraft because our solar panels aren't... Actually, this is a bit dangerous thing to do while we're burning. We'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. Farewell, Yaka. Okay, are all our fuel tanks open? Yep. We have 400 meters per second to burn, and our maneuver is 300. So we had about 100 meters per second spare. Tight delta V margins. This is going to take a while. Yeah, you guys are right, but I don't want to time warp. I want to use this opportunity to enjoy the view. Because this is pretty impressive, you know. And I'm B to chat to you guys. You're not facing the node. You're aiming retrograde. Yeah, I know I'm not facing the node exactly. That's because I didn't add the inclination change to the node. I know this is the correct direction to burn, because this one only features prograde. See, it's not quite aligned with the moon's orbit. It should have a bit of inclination change on it as well. We calculated the node before, so this is the same direction we were facing before. So I'm just going to keep burning this direction, and I'll just keep an eye on it. This was just for a ballpark, but we're just going to keep an eye on the actual orbit. Oh, look at that. Can she see? Yeah. Yaka's going to be stuck in an eccentric orbit of the moon for a very long time. Yeah, so this thing does not have a high thrust to weight ratio, as you can see. So this is going to take a little while. You forgot the crackers, Beardy. Oh no, that's pretty serious. That's the first serious thing anyone's actually said. Watch out for that Star Destroyer. That's no moon. Why has this become the ongoing joke for this stream? I am going to turn this around actually because it looks a bit silly with the solar panels facing the wrong way. We've got a fair bit of HTP. Yeah, we've got loads. Especially now we're not maneuvering one giant spacecraft with a lot of different RCS ports. I think settling the fuel as well is probably something that used quite a bit. What are you talking about? She's the fastest ship in the fleet. I mean, technically, if you talk about relative velocities, Zond is. As long as we have the 20 HTP left for our descent, it'll be fine. Now, that's a cool shot. Whoa, yeah. Zond. That's cool. We did move off our mark a little bit there. Not the most efficient burn I've ever done, I must say. I think that's about the right mark. There we go. Beardies, you need a space tow to make it faster. Actually, when it knows first, you probably only need 10 to 15 HTP. Yeah, we're going to use 20 though. It just makes me feel more comfortable to have plenty of fuel to keep it oriented, because you can't muck about when you're doing lunar re-entries. You've really, really got to be careful. Like, the window we have to hit, as I said, it has to be exactly 30 kilometers, and we have to approach it at exactly the right angle, or you burn up. Like, you have no leeway, like you do with low Earth orbit returns. Lunar re-entries are really dangerous and really stressful, because this heat shield that we have is literally like only just rated for lunar returns. Like, it's the same heat shield for all Soyuz stuff, all Soyuz descent modules. At first I thought it wasn't actually rated for lunar returns, even though it was in the lunar heat shields node. But there was no other appropriately sized heat shields. I thought, what's going on here? And then I realized, no, you just have to get it absolutely perfect. It has exactly the right amount of ablator and no more. So you just have to get your re-entry profile absolutely flawless. Right. We're doing pretty well. We're about halfway through our Zond burn. And yeah, we are at a slightly better angle than we would have been if we just followed the maneuver. Let's keep an eye on that periapsis, because it has to be exactly 30 kilometers. So things are going to get a bit spicy. You forgot the heat shield. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Why is this the ongoing joke of this stream, that I've forgotten something? I've simmed this entire mission from beginning to end. Not recently, which is why I was stressed. The last time I simmed this was like over 8 months ago. But yeah, I do remember. I trusted in myself that everything worked. Apart from the parachute. As I said, we might need to reload a quick save for that. But that's okay. You forgot the parachute. Well, opening my curtains a little bit so I get some airflow. Oh, because it's really muggy in the UK at the moment. It's really humid as well as being really hot. I don't mind heat, but when it's like humid as well, it's just inescapable. Ugh, I'm like sticking to myself. Blech. Horrible. I was just checking that everything, all the science data we had was transmittable. We didn't leave any science samples on Yaka. No, we didn't. We transmitted all of it. It was just crew reports. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, we're getting close now, actually. You forgot to land on the moon. Oh yeah, parachutes. Yeah, so we haven't forgotten the parachute, but the parachute may well not work. But as I said, it will be a bug. So you might get to see... for a second I was paranoid, did I leave a Kerbal on Yakko? No, I've got both of them. You might see Valerie and Valentina splash into the ocean at 100 meters per second. You know, like an alternate universe, like a what if kind of thing. But no, we're not going to let that happen. If it refuses to open, we're just going to keep reloading the quick save until it does. Because it's not fair. So once we've got this adjusted, we're actually going to then check where we're landing, because we might want to change that if we're going to land in the United States. Trajectories on? Yep, trajectories are on. You forgot what you were saying. That one was correct, but I did remember it. How's your thesis going? Oh, well, my dissertation. It wasn't a thesis. But I finished that. It's all handed in. But I've got a group design project, like a group dissertation now next year. Okay, let's fine tune this. But yeah, it's finished. I got a first for it. So I was pretty chuffed with that. Okay, there we go. We have a return. So we need to get into Earth's sphere of influence before we can see our trajectory calculations. But farewell to the moon. I'm gonna save. Leaving moon. There we go. Just means I don't have to refly this entire mission. Okay. We can actually reorient ourselves now. Make sure those solar panels are facing the sun. There we go. Right, so it's going to be a little on the cozy side for these two. You see they're in the Orlan spacesuits on the inside. They've got proper IVA suits now, which I'm quite happy I did. So yeah, as well as the proper outside spacesuits, they've got proper inside spacesuits too. Okay. Farewell, moon. Look at that. Cool, huh? See the Earth the other side of it? Oh, it's almost been eclipsed. Whoa! Leaving the dark side. Sunrise! Whoa, that's bright. Sorry to anyone who's watching on their phone in bed, if anyone is. I never watch the live stream on my phone. I mean, obviously I assume you can, but I always prefer to like have other tabs open. Yeah, I don't find any live streams ever seem to hold my attention really well. I'm usually doing something else and sort of tuning in. Actually, it's the same for most people. Okay. It's currently predicting that we're going to go straight through the atmosphere, so I don't think trajectories is going to be much help here. It is 30 kilometers. I think maybe it's because it's judging the entire spacecraft, not just the thing with the heat shield. Return perips is 30 kilometers. Exactly. I wrote this down, so it's probably correct. Yeah, I don't think trajectories is going to be much help here. It's going to take 4 days to get back. I have no idea where we're going to re-enter. If it's 4 days, 11 hours, right? So that's 4.5. So 4 will take it back to here, and then it will turn by half. So it should be, this is probably somewhere in the Pacific. Right, so it's going to be like pretty much exactly, yeah, exactly the other side of this periapsis, which is near Russia, I think. Or it's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, but at least as long as we don't land in the continental United States, we're fine. It's really hard to pinpoint a location here. Okay. Well, anyway, this is where I'm going to make a quick save, not just a save. Okay. Let's make sure that this is exactly 30. There we go. 30 kilometers. Exactly. Well, here we go. We're returning to the Earth. Batteries are full. We've got a 4-day trip. Farewell, Moon. So long, and thank you for all the science. See, our orbital velocity up here is actually really, really low. Right, at our upper axis, and it's going to speed up dramatically. Comfort poor. Yeah, see, now they're a little bit more cramped because they don't have the habitat. Oh yeah, Scorpion machine pistol. They do have guns and explosives. Yep, I thought I would check. Perfect. I can check that. Okay, cool. Yeah, they have machine pistols and explosives. Although I do actually have TP-82 cosmonaut survival pistols now. Those will be going up on the next Soyuz flight. But this one's still using Scorpion machine pistols. Or in case they land in the US. I mean, to be fair, if it's not the end of the world if they do land in the US, because there's no stored, like there aren't any samples stored on this, so they wouldn't get any science. For a second I was like, well, what's that? But that's a different spacecraft. Yeah, so all they would do is capture the cosmonauts, because we would blow up the descent module if we do land in the States. So whatever happens, they wouldn't get their filthy capitalist mitts on our hardware. But they would capture our cosmonauts, and that would be a bit awkward. Land in the red square. Yeah. I thought they were going to land on the moon. You think a spacecraft of this size can land on the moon? You are optimistic. Goodness me. No. Did you see a lander anywhere here? No. We need a much, much larger spacecraft to do that. We're going to need the N1 for that. Our first lunar missions are going to be using the N1, and then we'll probably have a Hydrolox augmented upper stage N1, which I'll probably call the N2. And then we will use a UR 700 and UR 900 later on. But I think at least at first I'll only use them to launch uncrewed payloads, so like lunar base modules. So that's all I'll really need things that size for. I think the N2, once we've got a Hydrolox upper stage, like a Hydrolox third stage, we should be able to have a more sophisticated lander that can seat 2 Kerbals instead of the LK, which only seat 1. Also have a proper docking tunnel and everything rather than having to EVA. So, you know, we're going to just achieve the landing. The fastest way to achieve the landing is to use the N1. That's the fastest and easiest way to do it. But then from then on, yeah, we'll probably rapidly upgrade to an N2 and have a slightly more sophisticated lunar mission structure. We might only even use the N1 for a single mission, because even the Soviets probably would have only done that, like 1 or 2. You know, land a man on the moon, land a woman on the moon. Done. Don't risk using such a dangerous system multiple times. You know, similar to how they use Voskhod, just to get some propaganda points, and then okay, now it's actually focus on doing this safely. I say safely, then the next flight was, you know, Soyuz 1, but, you know, get the propaganda points, do it as fast as possible, and then we can worry about doing it sustainably, you know? Right, let's speed this up a little bit. I'm just making a maneuver node so I don't time warp past it. So it would be a bit awkward. This is another failure point. If we had a solar storm here, there wouldn't be much I could do to shield these Kerbals. They don't have the engine block anymore, but we just didn't have the fuel to push the entire Sever vehicle all the way back. Look at that. Home sweet home, everybody. But yeah, so if they got hit by a solar storm now, They would only have this engine block to protect them, which would give them some protection, but they would be pretty irradiated. Okay, they're crossing the radiation belt. They're going to take some... Oh, there we go. They're 8% radiation. Oh, 8 and 9% now. So yeah, they've got about 2-3% radiation from this trip. So, you know, our Kerbals aren't going to be able to go to the moon an infinite number of times because we have got lifetime radiation activated. And it looks like we are actually going to land somewhere... Yeah, okay, I don't think we're going to land in the States. I think that... Oh, maybe we will, though, because we're going to skip across. Saying that, actually, we're going to land in South America. But yeah, there's no way we're landing in the North American continent. Yeah, I think we'll probably land in the Pacific, but yeah. With trajectories telling us that we're not even going to re-enter the atmosphere. Yeah, there wasn't really much I could do here. Okay. Right. This is real nerve-wracking. Got full electric charge, 10,000 units, full oxygen, full everything. Okay. Let's make our quick save now, because we might have to redo this. Re-entry. And here we go, ladies and gents. I wonder what altitude I want to do my decoupling and everything. Probably sooner rather than later. Let's do it like 1,000 kilometers. So we've got plenty of time, because, yeah, we're descending pretty damn quickly. We were saying we might land in Brazil. Landing in Cuba? No, we're landing at way too low a latitude to land in Cuba. Ah, Japan. Oh, it wasn't Japan. That's Papua New Guinea, I think we're seeing. Japan is over there? Yeah, I think that's Papua New Guinea that we're seeing there. Okay, so let's point at the normal to our orbit. Is there any HTP stored in here? Yeah. Okay, it drains from here first. That's fine. So let's point at our normal. And then we'll decouple. So we need to get rid of the parabolic antenna as well. So the avionics package as well as the service module. And then we're going to turn around and face our heat shield. Then we'll activate descent mode. Okay, that's good enough. Right, so first things first, decouple the avionics package. Farewell. Next is the service module. Farewell. There we go. And now we need to turn around this way. We're facing upwards, I believe. We need to... Well, actually, we'll turn around first and then we'll turn it on. But where's the button? Descent mode, that's it. Descent mode on. We'll want that to give us a bit of a lifting re-entry, which should, as well as reducing the Gs and the heat we're subjected to, we'll sort of skip off the atmosphere a little bit so we don't get absolutely murked. Oh, we don't have a way of turning to the right. Oh, we do. Okay, it's just really, really slow. That's a problem. Okay, no, we can turn. We can go up, and then we can roll, and then we can go down. That's what we'll do. Okay. Yeah, there's no oversight here. There's only 2 RCS ports. This is the only way to make this be able to survive re-entry. Okay. Okay, we have roll and we have pitch and yeah, we have roll and pitch. That's it. Maybe an oversight on my part. But once we enter the atmosphere, all we need to control is our roll. That's it. It's fine. So as long as we're pointing upwards, the offset center of mass will deal with everything else. Here we go, guys. This is really nerve-wracking. Bloody hell. We're not quite facing the retrograde marker here. Yeah, that confuses the... Oh, okay. We can't kill rotation because it doesn't have control over one of our axes. So we're going to have to do this manually. No pressure. Oh. People are saying you would phase through Kerbin if you just go straight through the atmosphere if this wasn't RSS. You're absolutely right. Descent mode on. Shifts our center of mass. Oh, and that means we can actually pitch to the right and because it moves our center of mass enough. That must be why I tested it with the descent mode on. Right. Oh, okay. Let's not use guidance. That is doing all the wrong things. Okay. Smart ASS, not our friend right now, apparently. How much ATP have we got through already? Okay. People are saying, oh, we only need 15 units of it. I'm glad we have all of it. I don't know why it all just like spazzed out there for a second. Can it hold retrograde? Okay, it can hold retrograde. We're fine. Oh, no, wrong one. Oh. Okay, retrograde. It can hold retrograde. That's fine. That's all we need it to do. Although once we enter the atmosphere, we're going to start tilting up, so we'll have to turn this off and then just control the roll manually. But that's okay. We can do that. Here we go, everyone. This is it. This is going to be toasty. Got our heat shield, full ablator. I'm just going to pin this down here. Just so we can see if we're about to run into trouble. All enabled. Okay. You have no heat shield. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Okay, here we go. Things are going to start getting hot. Did I enable the aerodynamics overlay? Oh, I did. Whoops. Okay. Should start seeing flames really soon. God, this is terrifying. Where are we thinking we're going to land? Trajectory says we're not going to land anywhere. But we are. I know we are. So I tested this. We are going to slow down quite dramatically. Okay, at this point... Oh! God, the explosion terrified me there. Oh, okay. Farewell, other module. Okay, that's the offset center of mass doing its job. We just need to control the roll now. Okay. Getting toasty! Okay, we're fine. The ablator's doing its job. Right, this is going to overheat a bit. If the heat shield overheats, then we've got a bug. This definitely worked before. Holy shit, that's getting hot. Okay, bloody hell. Okay, I don't remember it getting that hot. Oh my god, this is so... Okay, I remember this being difficult, but not like... Okay, I gotta keep an eye on that roll. Oh god. Oh. Okay, we're fine. This, you know what I mean? This heat shield is barely rated for lunar returns. Christ almighty. That was really close. You see how close that was? See what? Yeah, this is what I meant about the... I remember the window, the altitude window being really narrow, like within 500 meters. I remember I had to do it with a bunch of sims to get the exact altitude to return at. And figured out that it was exactly 30 kilometers. I think that's the reason why. Any lower, immediate burn up. Any higher, straight back out the atmosphere. Like Apollo 13 was not kidding. And they say like the window you have to hit is like a piece of paper held up to a globe. I think we're okay though. We're through the worst of it. That was really close. People are like, whoa. Oh, because if it had exploded then, that would have been my fault. That would have been a mission failure. But I think we are fine. Right, now we just have to hope that the parachute actually deploys. And it might not deploy, as I said. I think I might make another quick save. Like through the atmosphere, so we can just reload it and fire off the parachute if need be. You know what? Yeah, because we got through the atmosphere fine. We don't want to have to do that again. We've got quick saves higher up if we need to use them. Higher altitudes, that is. I'm going to make a quick save here. Whoa, we did it, guys. We did it. People are saying remove the thermal blanket. Yeah, I suppose so. Because they would have charred off. But the thing is, it should have the charred look. And it doesn't look charred. It just goes to, it looks like white. But your Kerbals have parachutes. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, people are saying we're going back up. We are going back up, yes, but that's necessary. We're going to go back up for a little bit and then we're going to go back down again. We're not going back into orbit, don't worry. We've lost far too much velocity to do that. So yeah, it has to use a skip reentry. That's what this is called. Where it skips back up out a bit, cools off, and then goes back down again. So you have to do a skip reentry or this doesn't survive. It just can't take the heat load. Maybe the ablator could take it, but everything actually overheats if you go any steeper. So that's why we have to use this engine. And Zond, in reality, would have used a skip reentry. So it's realistic. We'll be fine. CP, USSR. Not sure why they would have it in English. Oh, I guess, to be fair, they had English instructions on the bottom of the heat shield and stuff in case it landed in foreign territories. So, you know what, actually, that does make sense. For a second, I was like, this doesn't make any sense, but no, it does. I wish that when you took the blankets off that it looked charred, because that would make a lot more sense, you know? Thing is, like, because the offset center of mass keeps changing the pitch, you can't really use smart ASS. Is there any way you can tell it to just have a force roll 0 degrees per second? Does that work? No. I think that's for like forcing an actual like roll, but it doesn't seem to. I think you have to like tell it to actually hold something. Yeah. Is there any way to just kill roll and not hold the position? I don't know. Anyway. Pre-point altitude 5,000 meters. Point altitude is 1,000 meters. Should deploy. Okay, so we're going in for a for another bout, but this is a much lower velocity. I think even without a heat shield, we'd be fine now. Obviously, I'm not going to decouple the heat shield early, but we are fine now. If you hit kill rotation and force roll, that should work. Yeah, but that still tries to kill the pitch. I want to stop trying to kill pitch. I just want it to control the roll. What does CCCP stand for anyway? It's just USSR in Cyrillic alphabet. You know, the Russian native alphabet. That's all it is. They don't use the same alphabet as us. I remember growing up, I had a friend who was from Ukraine. She used Cyrillic as well. I believe it was forced to use Cyrillic. Was it forced? No, it's somewhere else it was forced to use Cyrillic. Yeah, so Ukraine uses Cyrillic as well. And so, like, growing up in England. So growing up for a bit in Ukraine, then growing up in England, and then learning the alphabet. And a lot of the letters look the same, but are completely different. Was apparently, like, really confusing at a young age. We're about to run out of ablator, but I think we're fine. But yeah, apparently like having arguments with teachers like, that's a C. No, it's not! Actually, I don't think we are going to run out of ablator. I think we have, yeah, I think I was right. We have exactly the right amount of ablator. You see what I mean? Like, there is no wiggle room here at all. Welcome to the Soviet Union, everyone. Had the RCS ports not burn up. To be fair, the heat shield, as it's a blunt body, would create a cushion of air. Because you get separation here, a separated shock wave. You get a bow shock. So that would create a cushion of plasma, which would actually probably cover those RCS ports. They would still get heated by radiation from the plasma shield. And probably would be melted. See, the descent module is supposed to have like integrated, like flush RCS ports. But for some reason, the model doesn't have those, even though the Soyuz did. So I had to strap them on. This was the only way to do it. A lot of people were like, "Hey, like you don't, you know, we're laughing at me because I only had like one RCS port on the Soyuz mission I used." And they were like, "You should have multiple so that you can, you know, do like what we did earlier, where you decouple facing the normal vector and you don't crash back into your own service module like we did on our first Soyuz mission." I'm going to save now. We've got through reentry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, this doesn't have the RCS ports built into it that it should do for some reason. So yeah, we just have to put on sticky outy ones. Right, I think we're gonna be okay, guys. Where are we re-entering? The middle of the Pacific Ocean. Wowza. Okay. I hope that the Russian... I think we're at like Point Nemo. Wow. Well, lesson of the day, ignore the trajectories mod. Because it was very wrong about where we're going to end up. I hope the USSR Pacific Fleet is on standby because, well, we're in the middle of nowhere. Use the internal RCS mod. I don't actually know what that is. Does it like flush RCS ports? Because we do have some flush RCS ports, but they're just too big. We need like small ones. And we don't want to get to weak scale because that's really unstable with RSS stuff. Okay, so we can pre-deploy this parachute. So it's armed. So that should deploy. Should deploy out of one of these, I think. Yeah, that's it there. Oh, maybe it's rotated the wrong way. No, I think it's supposed to have two. The main and the reserve one, right? Yeah, because there's a hole left for the parachute in the pod. Okay, fingers crossed. This should deploy. Oh, the parachute deployed. Okay, phew. It did actually deploy. Perfect. That's a relief. Furthest point from land, so nobody will detect the Soviet sub waiting for them. Ah, that's a good idea. Apparently, yeah, apparently internal RCS, whatever that mod is, does add flush RCS ports. And there is an RO conflict. Okay, we might add that then. We might add that. Oh, there you have it, everyone. That was beyond nerve-wracking. But the parachute deployed as well. You know, I do wonder if maybe a reason the parachute wasn't deploying is because I didn't used to take off the thermal covers because it looks weird. But I guess I should do that from now on. But yeah, that should be release of the first one. And there we go, release of the second parachute. Beautiful. Well, with that, we have a successful circumlunar orbit mission, everybody. We're just going to decouple the heat shield now. There we go. Bye-bye, heat shield. Oh, it thinks it's a UFO. It's alive! But yeah, if the heat shield isn't decoupled, then the braking rockets don't fire. Bye, heat shield. It's free now. It's flying off to pursue its own destiny. Bye. Probably time warp a little bit now. Watch as the heat shield actually splashes down gently. It did. It survived. That's fun. Right. Let's get a nice view of this and the... hopefully the braking rockets fire automatically. I think they do. Okay, it looks like they didn't fire, but whatever. And there we go. I mean, they landed in the ocean, so, you know. Oh, we're getting some scatter glitches there. Enough of that. Thank you very much. Well, I hope that the Soviet Pacific Fleet is equipped to pick up a, a re-entry capsule. I'm going to make it one more save. Landed. Oh, hello. Someone's unleashed Thingu. Paul. Congrats. Buy some commie beer. Thank you so much for the donation, Paul. I can turn off Kerbal. There we go. Engineer. Thank you so much. Yes, I will buy myself. I'll probably buy some Corona, to be honest, which, you know, is a Mexican tequila beer. That's my beer of choice anyway. But there you have it. We have completed the mission. Oh, that's a relief. Doing this whole thing live was beyond nerve-wracking, but we've completed our contract as well. First crewed lunar orbit. Crew alive and well after the mission. Congratulations. 1.4 million funds. Crew lunar flyby. Crew alive and well after the mission. Congratulations. The first humans to have seen the moon from up close. This is a historic day. I mean, not quite. Gemini 3 did beat us to that, but we stayed in orbit. And I think we got closer as well. I think we got a lot closer because they were on a free return. So, wowzer. That's a lot of money. Let's recover that vessel. No more recovery. Another happy landing. Yeah, people are clarifying. Can I say, yeah, Corona is a good beer, not quite so good a virus. And of course, someone then, obligatory solar storm warning. Thank you very much. Whew. Right, that was a lot. That was a lot for my blood pressure. But we've done it. Successful mission. And I did it live, so you know that I didn't cheat. You know that if anything had gone wrong, we would have been stuffed. Well, I hope you're looking forward to the episode. The episode should... I say should, but almost certainly should be not this Sunday, but the Sunday after. So a week on Sunday, that'll be the episode. And you'll have a new song cover as well in the episode. And this will all be a cinematic. They are on leave for a few months. And Valentina's not going to retire for a few more years. Perfect. Recovery of a vessel from orbit around the moon. That gives us another 32 science. So, wow, we got exactly 420 science. Hey, funny number. A few funds from return parts. Did they? Oh, they're level 2. Amazing. They actually hit level 2 from going to the moon. That's awesome. Incredible. There we have it. We got a lot of upgrade points, but yeah, I'm not going to spend those now. I'll decide how to spend my upgrade points and my money, but if we go into the mission control building, you'll see that now available for us is the first human moon landing, which gives us an advance of almost 7 million funds, which we're going to use to upgrade a lot of our space center and unlock the parts for the N1. What's this? Single crewed lunar orbit. Which orbit of the moon? Can you do more lunar flybys? That's what I want to know. So you can do more lunar orbit missions. But if we could do lunar flybys as individual contracts, that'd be a reason to launch Zond, you know, on a proton rocket as Stalin intended. No, we got our first space station contract. That's quite a big advance. Lunar rover. No, there doesn't seem to be a single crewed lunar flyby. That's a shame. Because yeah, that means we could have launched some actual just Zond missions. But don't worry, we'll still be launching a Zond-esque spacecraft on a Yaka rocket. Of course, our name for it isn't Proton. At some point, don't you worry. Probably not in the next in this coming episode, but probably the episode afterwards. Regardless, you can gaze upon Baikonur in all of its glory and some glitchy scatterer bugs. There we have it. Wowza. Did I not roll this back? Oh, I thought I rolled that back. Whoops, I should have rolled that back. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, it's only going to take a day anyway. Well, that is everything. I think I'm going to leave the stream there. I'm not going to continue playing. I'm not going to spoil any more of the episode. I just wanted to do the Lunar mission since you saw the start of it. But yeah, we got back from the moon on the 6th of August, 1963. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if Lunar Gemini beats that. The ball's in your court, N9. But if something goes wrong with your mission, well, my mission's already returned. So, you know, and also, yeah, they did not have the Delta V requirements to rescue a Gemini mission. Anyway, they had an extra 100 meters per second of leeway. Almost all of which was intended for the original docking. Anyway, so, yeah, Biddy, you forgot to start the stream. People are admiring the Cosmodrome. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys like it. Yeah, I spent quite a while on this. I pretty much spent all of today on this. Hopefully the choo-choo trains will leave in a minute. Go on, trains. Move. Move, damn it. Yeah, it does. It's a lot more. It looks a lot better, doesn't it? Now it's expanded out and we've got the separate launch pads. I'm really excited to launch rockets from our new launch pads. Can actually mouse over all the launch pads as well. That's fun. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone. I do hope you have enjoyed this extremely nerve-wracking lunar mission and the interesting things that were going on in the chat, telling me that I forgot everything from the heat shield to the parachutes to turning on the engines when they were firing. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a lovely night, and I will see you in the next episode of For All Kerbalkind. There won't be any more streams. I wanted to stream this because I had to do this mission first, so that's why I've had 2 streams in a row. But I'm going to finish. I'm going to sort of tweak some bits around the Cosmodrome just to make sure it's, tweak this runway and stuff. Then I'm going to go do Plesetsk, and then I'm going to finish the rest of the year. But that was the most time-consuming mission. Most of the rest of the missions are actually planned. They're actually building, as you can see. You've got Lunar 14, Lunar 15. And Lunar 13 here, all under construction, as well as Soyuz 3. So yeah, most of the stuff is already planned. There aren't really any more crafted designs, so I should be able to do that within the next couple of days, and then write a song next week, and then have the episode out. So hope you're looking forward to that as much as I am. I'm really excited to have this series back. It's going to be back on a bi-weekly basis, so every fortnight. I'm going to be back on a regular upload schedule, which I think was, having an irregular upload schedule wasn't great, but we'll probably have every 2 weeks until uni starts again, and then it'll probably be every month. Once uni starts again, but it will be regular. I'm going to make sure that it's regular and I've ended Beyond Kerbal, and I'm also ending To Boldly Go. I'm bringing it to a close. There are 12 more episodes to come out of that. I won't be spinning as many plates, balancing as many projects, so this will be coming out on a regular upload schedule now until it finishes, until KSP2 comes out. I am determined to keep that to it. Apart from maybe exam season, I'll give myself a bit of a break there. Even then, I can do it over evenings. Regardless, I've been waffling. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. See you next time.